I've got my coffee. And how is everybody doing this morning? Did anybody do the radio Taiso exercise? um, so I also, in my last episode, I talked about things that sort of get me excited and into the play mode. And one of those things is fragrance. So I have my Chakra 5. I love this scent. This is a really nice one. I'll give myself a little spritz on that. Smells good. Okay. And today I'm working, if you couldn't tell, in purple and yellow. And last week I did orange and turquoise, and it made some really interesting designs and color combinations. And with purple and yellow, so I have just a variety of purples and yellows. I've got dioxazine purple, I have permanent violet dark, which is kind of hard to see that. I have just a regular pre-mixed craft purple called periwinkle. I also have some a mix of yellows that I made from some of the paint that I have downstairs, and I just put it in this container. And I have some craft yellows as well. Hi, Carrie B. I'm glad you made it. And I also have this interesting, where did I put that yellow? Oh, it's nickel azo yellow and transparent yellow iron oxide. So I just have a variety of different yellows on my palette. I'm going to play with those, and I just have that like that. And an example of one of the, as you could see on my post thumbnail. Let's see, where did that go? Oh, here. This is what I made with just using purple and yellow, nothing else. And you can get such a great variety of colors. Isn't that gorgeous? So today I'm going to warm up as usual in my little math book. And if you have questions, let me know. And let me know how you guys are doing too. Hi, Heather. I'm glad you made it. That's awesome. Okay. If any of you are watching, thank you, Carrie B. That you don't know, have not been to my live, I like to warm up in this math textbook that's from like the 60s or 70s. So nobody's missing it, I don't think. Get there like that. And off to the side, I'm just going to mix some colors with purple and yellow. Maybe I'll just do that right here. I warmed up this morning with my Radio Taiso. It's basically, I put a link in the description there in the chat, and it's just 4 minutes. Really, really easy. Anybody can do it. Kids, old people. Look at that brown. Isn't that nice? Hi, Annalicia. Hello. My name doesn't show up. Emma. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. We're having fun with purple and yellow today. I have these solid paint markers. Oh, you like using the encyclopedia, Heather? Cool. I'd love to see your guys' stuff sometime. Look at that. Let me zoom in a little bit. One of the things that I forgot to add is white. I'm going to add a little white just so I can get some, so I can mix white in there. I don't find that to be cheating. Let me see if I can, what I like to do with these is make really dark colors. Let me grab my palette knife. Thank you. Yeah, I stopped by the lending libraries, or, you know, people have those little houses they build in front of their homes, and they put free books in there. I often look in there. Okay, so I've got dioxazine purple, I've got violet, I've got some ochre, and I'm just going to keep mixing that until I get something that's really dark, that's not exactly pure purple. Let me turn the light off. There we go. That's really dark. That's too dark. Okay, so now I have, it looks like it's going to be a really beautiful dark brown color. And so I can get some dark tones in here. I'm just going to use a palette knife. I might as well. And hi, Vanessa. Carrie B, I'm trying to get away from being too busy with my painting. Any ideas? Oh, too busy. Oh, I have that struggle all the time. I think one of the things that I've figured out with making simple, and we can try that here, is to not spend so much time on it. So, Carrie B, I'm gonna spend a couple more minutes on this, and then I'm just gonna be done. And then we'll just see if that works, because I tend to overwork things too. I think letting things dry a little bit, like working on 3 or 4 pieces at a time, is nice, because then you don't get things muddy. It has time to dry, and then you can layer better. Sure. We'll try that and see if my theory works. So I'm adding a little white. And I'm always adding that mother color in my mix for color harmony. So we won't go too crazy on this, just because we're going to try to prove a point and try to make these compositions a little bit more simple today. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, greetings from Denmark. How's it going? Good morning. And Vanessa, I've been into purple lately. Yeah, I like purple. I like purple and yellow together too. So maybe I'll do one more thing and then I'll stop, Carrie B. I'll do one more interesting thing. So I'm getting a little texture in there. I'm adding some dark, and then, yeah, I feel like it needs like more dark in here. And then we will just call it. And then we'll come back to that later when it's dry and see what we think. "6 p.m. So you're having dinner? What are you having for dinner in Denmark?" Ooh, Rocky Mountains. That's where I grew up, in Colorado. Are you in Colorado in the Rocky Mountains? See, it's good, you guys. Keep me busy, keep me talking, and then I'm not going to overthink my painting. So I'm going to try to keep these compositions simple for Carrie B and for myself, of course. But Colorado, yeah, that's where I grew up. I went to school there. I've been into these dashes lately. These are dashes as like a texture or a pattern. They're nice. Fish and chips, how proper. Carrie B, I didn't know you were in London. Oven roasted chicken and pasta. Kyckling. Is that how you say chicken? Kyckling? Is that similar to the Swedish? Shilling. Is it the soft K like that? I'm gonna go kind of. Portland, Oregon. And Heather, you're in Portland. Oh, nice. Portland is beautiful. The gardens are probably blooming about now. Look at that. Isn't that nice? See, that's simple. Hard K. Oh, really? Killing. Okay, Carrie B, what do you think about that? That's pretty simple. Hi, Siska. Goedenavond. The Netherlands, yes. Spinach, eggs, and rice. That sounds delicious. Crosses an X. New Mexico. Alamogordo. Oh, such beautiful places. People. I'm trying to get really simple today, so I don't know. I really like that. Maybe one more thing. One more. Get really restrained. Let's see. Even just that, right? Is nice. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to be super simple today in honor of Carrie B, because she asked me how to be simple. And I think one of the tricks is being able to walk away from something. Let's work on something bigger. I have, oh, you know what I have? This is this book my sister got me from the Tucson Gem Fest. What do you call it? You know, they have all the crystals and stuff there. And it's really absorbent rice paper. But what I've been doing is I've been gessoing some of the pages so the paint doesn't, so it doesn't absorb into the paper. I could do one in here if it hasn't stuck together. Oh, where is it? El Salvador. Hola. Now I can't, usually I'll mark it with a G for gesso. Oh, there it is. Did you hear that? Ah! Yeah, so these I gessoed and they kind of stuck together a little bit, but I'm going to, I can do just like a spread here across the whole thing. And it's just an interesting, mixing it up a little bit on a different kind of paper. I know it does look ancient. I'm going to try this mop brush. Quebec. Hi, Chantal. I'm doing purple and yellow and mixing that just to see what interesting colors I get today. And what's nice about only using 2 colors is that it restricts your palette so that also, Carrie B, you can keep things a little bit more simple. You're sort of forced to simplify. You are over the top. I have some purple and yellow flowers actually. I just noticed. I've got purple tulip and yellow. I picked these when I was on a walk today. Not the tulip, but these. These I got from Trader Joe's because they have the best flowers. All right, that mop brush is fun. And let's see. Let's go. I'm just going to put some yellow and white. This paper doesn't dry very fast though, that's the problem, a little bit of a problem when I'm working live, and I can't use a hair dryer because it's too loud. But this paper has its own personality, its own voice. It kind of does what it wants to do, so I have to work with that. Something about this paper makes me want to get really expressive and scrubby. It's fun seeing what varieties of colors you can get with just 2 as well. Let's see. And you know, guys, don't be afraid to cover up stuff that you've, like marks you've made. Just go right on top. Yeah, it was really sweet of her. So on this, I'm standing back a little bit. I have some medium value, I've got some dark, and I feel like I need some lighter values on this. And I think what I'll do is I'll add some of this solid marker, this white solid marker. I guess I could just add pure paint as well. Some pure white. Let me see how that works. I really like these kids brushes. They're like hog's hair. These are super cheap. They're Creativity Street. And I think I have those listed in the description below if you're interested, but they're super cheap. And I love these hog's hair brushes. I want to break through here, break through some of the other, I just want to layer a little bit and break through some of the other stuff I've done. Not get too precious. Let's go with black. I'm feeling really expressive today. All right, let's move on. How about this even bigger book? I feel like I need more room to paint. So, see, I don't concern myself too much with outcomes a lot of the time. I just playing. My last episode I shot, I just posted it. It's kind of about play and how to play. And even though this isn't a great painting, it doesn't have great composition or anything, it's got fun stuff in it. Look, like really interesting things that I'm learning. So yeah, just experimenting and playing. And sometimes they turn out, I think this one turned out like really nice composition. But I was super warmed up on that one. Thanks, Rivka. Hi. Hey, you're welcome. Let's start with, let's just do some yellow. I feel like I'm going to knock something over this morning. kind of one of those days. And I love to just scrub on these brushes. They're so cheap that it doesn't matter. Am I working on any painting on canvas? Am I? No, in fact, my husband just put together a bunch of shelving units in the storage area so that I could organize my paintings better, because they were just like stacked up on the wall, against the wall, and it was really getting frustrating and messy for me. So I've kind of been in more of like an organizing mode. I know it is frenetic today. It feels good. I have some of these portfolio crayons. Let's try these. They smell weird, really weird, like crayons. I guess this is purple, right? So these are fun because they're water soluble, and I can add water, so do that. Aren't they pretty? These are so cool. I love these. Against the yellow, look at that. Oh yeah, that's nice. And let's see. Let's mix some more purple. Let's do some lavender. I'm gonna need more white, I think. See, I think that purple is too pure, so I'm gonna add some yellow, and that will make it a little dirtier. I was just watching I was doing my radio Taiso exercise, and then on YouTube, it automatically played this documentary on Japan. And they were talking about ikebana and art forms in Japan, and one of them is this sumie brush, and this woman does these huge paintings where she sort of dances across with a giant brush, and it's very expressive, and maybe that's why I sort of got inspired by her. to dry a little bit. Let's see. Try. I have this brush. I haven't used it yet, and I think what would be good is some really dark thin lines. Like let's see. It's hard to. My hand gets in the way of the camera, but let's see if I can. I want to tone back that yellow a little. It's kind of bright for me right now. It's too early for that. Tone it back with some white and not too much. But see how it kind of pulls the painting together a little bit more. Here, let me turn the light off so you can see without the glare. And maybe a little right here too. Thanks, Rivka. I haven't been using a lot of transfer tools today, which is unlike me. I'm just kind of going with the brush. And then as far as making simple compositions, I think stopping soon is one way to do it, but I think the real honest answer is, see, I love lots of layers, and with this one, where it was very simple and I didn't spend a lot of time on it, it's okay, but, oh, I gotta do something here. I wanna take some of that. I need some of that. I can also simplify this by editing it, and that's really the hard thing to do because you don't want to sacrifice a lot of your beautiful layers. And I think the trick to that might be stepping away from it for a second, which I'm going to do. I'm going to put away that and let it dry. And let's go back to, what was I working on in here? Working on anything in here? Can't remember. The sky. So this one's really simple, but to me, that doesn't look finished. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more. And let's do, I need, sometimes when I don't know what to do, I'll just pull out some of my transfer tools. So I'll use this jelly plate. Just switch up the tools a bit, and I need to go dark. Okay. You're getting desensitized to it, Rivka. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're getting used to it. Oh, good. And they can try that in your work now. I really like this Titan Buff, and instead of pouring some out, I'm going to make it with purple, yellow, and white, which is pretty easy. So I've got a little bit of purple, and I'll add a little yellow, some more white, some more yellow, and voila. Voila, as they say in Quebec. Titan Buff. Oh, I want to just fix that. I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to do something here and I don't know. It doesn't matter. You just got to keep reminding yourself that it's about play and not get too caught up in final outcome. Don't get too serious. But, you know, in the back of your mind, always worried or concerned or thinking about at least composition and value. Line work. Do you have line work in there? Do you have enough darks? Do you have texture? Do you have places for the eye to rest? This is something I worked on in this accordion book, and I think I used a lot of purple and yellow in here for some reason. I don't know why, but I think that turned out kind of nice. Look at that beautiful texture. See, I think I love this just really simple composition here. You can find a lot of simple compositions in here. And oh, the silicone thing? This is called, these are called color shapers for some reason. I have no idea because you can't shape color, but you can shape paint. But yeah, these are nice. I do have a silicone like baking tool as well. Oh, it's this one right here. This one is actually like, I can't get it out of the thing. This is actually to scrape like a baking, like I guess like a spatula. This one's fun to use too. But yes, silicone. Okay. Hi, Grayson from Palm Springs. Thank you, Christina. You got dogs X-ray compositions. I would like to see that. It's very creative. Okay. I'm just going to stop on that. And let's go back to this one because I feel like it needs something else, even though we're trying to keep it simple. I want some more layers. What are my thoughts on warm-ups? Oh, definitely need warm-up for sure. And that's kind of why I use this book to warm up in it. Eric, hi. I'm really trying to embrace play and let go of the seriousness and anxiety. Yes, you're welcome. It's all about play. I mean, maybe spend a whole paint session with that, meditate on that, or like make that your intention. And sometimes you'll find that your best paintings are the ones where you just didn't care very much. And you'll notice that the more you do it, you're learning along the way, and which is really interesting. Because the more you do it, you'll pick stuff up. You're teaching yourself, you know. You're kind of teaching yourself about your tools, how to use them. You're teaching yourself what you like and what you don't like. You're also teaching yourself not to be so serious, and that it's not like you're trying to, it's not like you work at a hospital, you know, and you're trying to save somebody's life. I mean, I do get a little bit of performance anxiety when I'm doing these live sessions, and I just have to keep reminding myself that you guys are all so nice and you don't judge me when my final piece doesn't look like a masterpiece, you know. You're just here to enjoy the time. Maybe pick up some tips and tricks. Yeah, this one's sort of interesting. This is kind of my grid like series, and I'm calling it my Metro series because I love working in these grids. And if you go to my website, blakelillianhellman.com, you'll see I have a whole series called Metro series. Oh, thank you, Christina. I appreciate it. Thank you, Artist. I feel like I need another spray. Oh, it smells so good. This one, I don't know. Maybe it needs some, I don't know. What do you think? Darkness or, oh, you're welcome. I don't know what this one needs. This one's crazy. Crazy. Maybe we'll just do some like brave. Let's do something brave. I'm gonna do, oh, you know, I forgot to say, if you add a lot of white to these, all these make the most beautiful grays, purple and yellow, and complementary colors together. They make the most gorgeous gray. which I always have trouble with, but okay, I'm just gonna do something really brave. Here goes. Dark, yep, I'll do a dark for sure. I think you're right. Okay. That actually was like, took a lot of courage to do that. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do it. But now that really opened this up to me because I don't have to be so precious about it. And what makes me see is that I want a lot of dark down here. So I want to do, I'm just gonna, and the thing is I'm just covering stuff up, which is kind of hard to do. But once you take that first leap, you can just dive in. And no, I need this whole section to be dark because it's so much more interesting. See what I mean? It's better. White, okay. How about, yeah, let's push this white here too a little bit. And here I'm simplifying my composition quite a bit. Oops. When I do that, when I see something I don't like that purple and white were running into each other and blending, instead of keeping going and trying to fix it, what I learned to do is just stop and kind of accept it for what it is. Because I've noticed that when I keep going and try to like, oh, I gotta fix it, it just winds up frustrating me more. So, I don't know, I think that's a good thing that I learned from play, is I learned some, rules. I gave myself some rules. Oh no, somebody suggested using white and I was like, yes, white, that's what I'm doing. This is good. But I think the composition is much more interesting on this. It's like, I can still see some of the interesting things underneath. And again, I'm trying not to break things in half. I'm trying to work in thirds as well. So like, this is half of the painting. I want to take this up a little bit. That's another kind of rule that I give myself, that I don't really have to think about it anymore because I do it so often. You have to know the rules exactly. You have to know them. And of course I could break it by going in half, and I do that sometime. But I think this is looking a lot better, a lot more interesting. Here, let me move that out of the way just so it's clear. And it's much more simple now. And now I can go over, and now you can sort of see some of the interesting things going on underneath, right? But my composition is much more bold and interesting. And I think we can come back and work on this a little bit, but this this book is also sort of a playbook for me. I just play around and experiment with stuff. I like to use Collage. Actually, Collage is a great tool for when you're stuck on composition. Maybe I'll just try that here because I feel like stuck on this piece and I want to add something in here. That's kind of bold and interesting. I wish I had some more black paper in here. I need to add black paper. Okay. And let's break the purple and yellow rule, possibly. Actually, yeah, let's just break that rule. I'm going to put this pink in here. It's attracting my eye. And then I can see something about collage helps to unify the composition a lot of the time. And whoops. Now I can kind of come back in. And I like that. Let's see. I know, I noticed that too. I think I did that subconsciously. That's interesting. I like that. Yeah. And then I really like that violet color. I can't remember how I got that. Is that? I don't know, but maybe it's like that. When do I decide it's finished? I think I decide a piece is, when I decide a piece is finished is when I feel like the composition is nice. But sometimes I'm never happy with the painting as finished. And so sometimes I just walk away, even though I don't think it's finished, and then I'll come back to it later and I'll realize, hey, it was finished. And like this one, I think I could do a lot more, but I actually really kind of like it. It's dynamic. I don't like that this shape and this shape are too similar, but that's okay. I can always go in and change it later. I think I'm gonna stop on this, and sometimes I will just end a piece and call it done. Like this one, I'm just gonna call it done. Although, you know, I can see that I want some white lines in there. I would probably go in and I have a little bit of white paint left here. So I think what I would probably do is I can see that I want something like just to break that up a little bit. And I think when you get tired of painting is a good time to stop, because I've noticed that if I'm tired of painting, I'll make a lot of mistakes and regrets. So thank you so much for joining me today, Purple and Yellow, and I will be back next Thursday live, 9 a.m. It was great seeing you all, the Paint Posse. Join me next time. Bye.